NBA sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to a sold-out and absolutely rocking Superdome here in downtown New Orleans. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game as we've got a great one in store between the Detroit Lions and the New Orleans Saints. Who will punch the fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round? We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. They'll start on the ground here on first down. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll set up a throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Gibbs. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. The running back, because he's eager to get the pass. And sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that, and that's why they're able to get to him on it.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Jonathan Abram picks it, and the Saints are going to take possession of the football. And certainly, look, you're on the road in the playoffs. That is a suboptimal start, opening drive INT.
And, partner, sometimes I wonder, do these teams talk about it to such an extent that maybe you almost talk yourself into the turnover when you're trying to avoid it?
Yeah, maybe they get a little too worried about keeping the football, and then you give it to the other team right off the bat. And, look, we said it, on the road, this is just a terrible, terrible start for them.
It is, and now they've got to rely on their defense.
Play action. Now it's Carr. Sliding out of the pocket. That is caught by Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints are on the board first here in this division round matchup. Lutz good on the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Now remember, the last time out, they threw the interception. That led to the touchdown, so now time to regroup.
It certainly is, and their goal right now as they go back out on the field, a calming drive, something that takes the ball, keeps it for a while, lets the defense relax a little bit, lets the offense regain confidence in their game plan.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Looking to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And he is going to have the Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
They'll look to throw again. And this, incomplete. He tried to check it down to his running back and nearly had the ball picked.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big third down coming up.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Jonathan Abram picks it. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. He'll drop this down to Williams. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. So not quite a 1st and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches. Up the middle, it's Williams. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Carr going to throw. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Jameis to throw it. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Throwing. Winston. Under pressure, they got him again. Derek Barnes providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Carr going to go on 4th down. Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy. Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter. But that time, they were up to the challenge.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And he's taken down here by the Saints. And the defense coming through on third down, a loss of 7 to bring up fourth. Here's Jack Fox on to punt. That's taken on the 25. A nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for mid.
And this is caught inside the 5. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 32 that time.
Boy, they've definitely come out of the gate smoking here in the first quarter. Whatever they've tried to run has worked. And there's another example right there. Game plan is one thing, but how about his accuracy? It's been exceptional.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Jamal Williams taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Saints continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Lutz with the extra point, and it's now 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They trail here early in this division round game as they seek a spot in the NFC title bout. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And all the way down to the 29. A big play there for Detroit. 46 yards on the ground. 21-0 our score after 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. That's the former Buckeye Pete Werner getting the sack. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 19. They'll drop to throw. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Facing this big first-half deficit, they keep the field goal unit on the sideline. They're going for it. Now back to throw. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. There he goes left side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. I mean, at this point, CD, what is not going their way in this first half? After that pick six, they now have a 4-possession lead here.
And that allows them to say to themselves, how about we get everybody involved, okay? Because this one is a runaway, and it's looking like it's going to be even more of a runaway. Everybody gets a chance to play and get a little bit of love. The more guys that get to watching the highlight reels from this one, the better.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Johnson. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a 1st down as well.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
It's caught. Tompkins. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Now, that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
They'll run on 1st down. Gibbs, and he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Gibbs. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Alvin Kamara reeling it in on back-to-back plays. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air and defensively. They were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Up the middle they go. Gibbs, and he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. 67 yards rushing for him now as he has been strong here in the first half of this divisional round matchup. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Gibbs. And the Lions are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick six just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And now look at him go. He's at the 50. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but that's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. He completes it to Olave. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense.
Touchdown, Saints. Taysom Hill, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Saints continue to pull away here in this first half. Lutz good on the extra point. And that makes this 35-0 now. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Logan Ryan. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Carr now on 1st down, escaping the pressure right. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Lions will take over here just shy of the 30. Well, he's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup, as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
He is going to find Hill here. Finding room at midfield. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Well, forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Carr completes it. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Into the red zone. It's Carr. They'll roll him out right. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. And the Lions are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they're very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, after incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Saints will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Following the interception, Winston. They'll start following the interception in great field position at the 45.
He took a shot there, but boy, was that ill-advised from my viewpoint. Coverage was awfully tight. How did he get away with that one not being picked off?
To throw, it's Carr. Rolling to his right. He finds his man, complete. It's Perry. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one covers 29 yards, 1st down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Steps away to his left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but
that is caught by Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans. 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Saints have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Lutz to try to add the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Gibbs. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Well, a lot of ground left to make up, obviously. A lopsided contest, and we're already in the third quarter. Now, they won't get it all back in one play or one drive. That's cliche, but it's true, Charles. If they can just maybe get plays like that and get a little momentum built, they can get the scoreboard a little closer.
And can you add some blinders to the cliche, meaning keep these guys from looking at the scoreboard, because that doesn't help them at all right now. Their focus needs to be on finishing every drive with points and playing mistake-free football from here on out.
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that'll be caught by St. Brown. He's going to pick up the first down and then some. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 25-yard line. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Back to throw again. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
Well, this is caught by Williams. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Gibbs. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. They're going to look to throw. And now here's another interception. Jonathan Abram picks it. He's at the 50. 30. 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this third quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick six is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, it backfired in a big way.
Now a diving catch made just beyond the line of scrimmage.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Going right side here, and that's complete. 7 yards there and a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. He gets it left side of Johnson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. They'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now it's Kamara in the passing game. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
I I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Again, he'll drop to throw. He completes it to Tompkins. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you've mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy is on the...
And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. Pete Werner able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's third down. Backed up here. Tough spot. Needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Throw over the middle. He finds Williams. And the Lions are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. On first down, Gibbs. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on second and goal? Back to throw. And in for the Lions, touchdown. From 4 yards out. And the Lions are finally on the board here in the fourth quarter. Extra point by Patterson, up and good, as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he's going to be brought down inside the 5 at the 3.
Well, not exactly a banner return, so he doesn't give his offense a whole lot of room to work with. They've got to go a long way now to try and score some points. I do know this from experience. There will be a few comments muttered his way by the offense as they head out on the field.
And they'll bring him down right around the 13. So not quite out of danger just yet. Still backed up a bit, but only need a few inches here on second down. Again, it's Williams. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 64 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And this one is incomplete. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings them up 2nd and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to try and go deep again. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. Carr now on first down. Flushed out right. And he will get into the end end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. Yeah, I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of you guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to take over here up near the 40. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. And the Saints season will march